Hello, Space Cadets, and welcome to Mueller Planetarium Astronomy at Home. This is Zach Thompson, Planetarium Coordinator at the University of Nebraska State Museum at Morrill Hall in Lincoln, Nebraska, wishing you all clear skies. Today we're going to be exploring our solar system and some of the spacecraft exploring it near and far. We'll be using NASA's EYES. Look to the right of your screen for a web address where you can download this at home. eyes.nasa.gov. Our sun buddy is holding it up for you. When you download this, it's 3-in-1. Eyes on the Earth, eyes on the solar system, and eyes on exoplanets. We're going to focus on eyes on the solar system for today, and you'll notice there's a simple and advanced option. We're going to be using the advanced, but they both do the same thing, just organized a little bit differently. It's whatever works best for you, so try out both. Think of this whole software suite as a playground, and it's yours to explore as you wish. With solar system pulled up here, here's our home view. We get a view looking down at our solar system. Now this is a NASA program, so it shows you NASA missions that are exploring our solar system. Although space exploration is a global effort, so you get one portion of the story, but there's a lot more to it than what you see here. However, this is a fantastic overview of what we know and how we know. And it's always changing. You need to be connected to the internet when you use this, but to get updates from these missions, you need to be online, because it will come to this visualization software to show you how science continues to change. Now, these are labels that you can click on. As you move around, zoom in, zoom out, you can click on these labels and see whatever it is closer. You could do that with the Earth, and you would see then as you get closer, you then have a bunch of other labels around the planet. These are, again, space missions of NASA's that are either exploring the Earth or they're near the Earth exploring some aspect of the universe. So you can keep on going. You'll then see at the bottom on our control panel, there's a destination window, and there's a little letter I for information. On anything you click on, for the most part, you'll be able to get more information on it with this side menu by clicking the I button. Let's go back to our home view, and let's explore near and far. Here is our sun, the heart of the solar system, which accounts for 99.98% or so of all the mass of the solar system. So the sun is a pretty big deal indeed. In fact, it's the closest star to the Earth, and the better we can understand it, the better we can understand the other stars, the life cycle, the workings of stars. So far, we've been studying our sun on Earth or with things around the Earth, roughly 93 million miles away. Some a little bit closer, some a little bit farther, but not that close in the grand scale of things. But that's where something like the Parker Solar Probe comes in. This is a mission that launched in August of 2018. And here's a way to really see what we're talking about. With Parker Solar Probe pulled up over here, come back to the destination window, click I, and learn a little bit more about it. Now, there's not much there right now, but as this mission continues into 2025, for example, expect more information to appear as we keep learning about our sun. This is designed to get closer to our star than anything before. By the year 2025, it'll get within 4 million miles of the sun. That's astonishing and made possible because of this new state-of-the-art carbon composite heat shield, which keeps all the instruments on board a nice, cozy room temperature to protect it from the energy of the sun. Now here's Parker, and that's all well and good, but how big is it really? Come back to our destination window, and within it there's a cool tools box you can pull up to compare the size. Let's compare it to a person or a scientist. And here we have one way to visualize it. Let's get it so it's oriented somewhat here that we can see. There we go. A little bit bigger than a person. How about compared to a bus or a vehicle? Not quite as big. But it's important to have this sense of scale, just to give you an idea of what's all out there. Put that away. Focus back on Parker. And within 4 million miles of the sun, that's pretty astonishing. But more than just getting close to the sun, it will be exploring this hot outer atmosphere called the corona. And it's within the corona that space weather occurs. Space weather can be violent outbursts of the sun into the solar system and even on a straight course towards the Earth. solar outbursts don't really mean anything bad for life on our planet, but it does mean the end of electricity and electronics, if the storms are powerful enough, that is. The sun is capable of completely wiping out the whole planet's power grids. So that's not good. Think about your lights in your house, your refrigerator, your TV, your phone even. If any of those are turned on and there's a powerful enough solar storm that hits the Earth, they're all wiped out. They're all gone. You don't just fix those overnight either. It takes decades to bring the whole power grids of the planet back online. So we don't want that to happen, of course. But knowledge is power. Knowing is half the battle, as some wise folks would say. And so that's why we want to know about the sun, how it works from the inside out. That's what Parker will help us do. But now let's zoom out to the far reaches of our solar system and introduce you to Voyager 1 and Voyager 2. They are twin spacecraft that launched more than 40 years ago. These spacecraft, which they look identical, they are twins, they gave us the first good views of the outer planets, the gas giants, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. For the close-up views we got, it was just incredible, the larger neighborhood that we exist in. These Voyagers are remarkable. But over time, of course, their cameras have since stopped working, but they've continued to move outward into the solar system. In fact, it was just within the last decade that both Voyager 1 and 2 reached interstellar space, the space between the stars. We know this because they had special instruments on board to take readings, and researchers were able to tell once they got a certain reading that, they had reached a point that no spacecraft had been before. So far out. To really understand what is the influence of the sun, how far does it reach, and what is it like out there. So both Voyager 1 and 2, they're there, and that's fantastic, but how far is far? We click our home menu, our home button again, just to kind of get us this big overview again. And here's what you can do. Click on, just once, Voyager 1, for example. Now, right-click on it and come down to measure distance from. So it's prepared to measure the distance from Voyager 1 to anything else. We're just going to click on the Earth. And now there's this line that appears, and zoom back out to see the box. Look here. Voyager 1 is almost 14 billion miles from the Earth. It moves at about 1 million miles a day. This also goes for Voyager 2. Voyager 2 is about 11 billion miles or so away. Look how long it takes to talk to Voyager 1. 20 and a half hours. So if we're here on Earth and we say, hey Voyager, how's it going? It will take 20 and a half hours, almost a day, for Voyager to hear it, and it'll take yet another day for Voyager to say, all's well, way out here. You can do this with anything in this software to understand the distance. But besides all of that, let's go back to just Voyager 1 here. Eventually, it will stop working. It and its twin will stop working. They won't have the energy, the power to face their antenna here back towards the Earth, and we'll lose all communication. It'll just be a dead spacecraft going farther and farther out into space. And it's possible it could travel for tens of thousands of years just through nothing relatively, just kind of empty space. But the thought was, perhaps in the far future, an advanced intelligent civilization may encounter one of these probes, and on both of them is a golden disc with information of who made the craft, what planet we live on, which star we're by, and some other things. It's a record. And there's a device that, if this intelligent culture, civilization finds it, they'd be able to follow the pictures and play it and hear sounds from Earth. People saying hello in a variety of languages. Sounds of cars, babies, music, and so much more. The Voyager probes are the ambassadors of the Earth. And what's really neat, this is about as close as we can get to the golden disc on this software. But you can look farther online or click on this eye information for information. You can follow an external link. But what's really interesting, just as a side note, when you visit Morrill Hall, the State Museum at Morrill Hall again, and you walk through the front doors by the front desk, take a look behind you and up on the wall over the doors that you came through, because there's this panoramic mural, and part of it is what's inscribed on the Voyager Golden Records. So there you have a quick overview of what you can do with eyes on the solar system. Just one thing you can do. Now, we leave it up to you to do your own exploring. This is a lot of fun. You never know. When you're exploring our solar system, what interesting things can you find? You might be surprised. So please let us know if you have some questions in the section below or what you found so far. This is, again, NASA's Eyes on the Solar System, part of NASA's Eyes. Have fun, space cadets, and keep looking up.